Hello everybody and welcome back to the day 5 night part. Now, sorry it took me a little bit longer to come back, but I wanted to just gather some wood just so I can start working on my top layer that I want to upgrade. Now, what I do want to do is I don't want to upgrade all of it because I want to build some wooden bars. Now, we'll upgrade all these walls here as well, but you don't necessarily need to if you don't want to. This is pretty much the basics of basics that you're going to get even. You can leave this as is if you want, but I tend to put a wall on it just so I don't fall off or anything like that, because I tend to fall off things, especially when throwing dynamite apparently. However, what I do want to do is I want to build myself some bars. Now if you search for bars, you get wood bars and wood bars centered. Wood bars centered, we'll put them in the center of the block, so we want the normal wood bars. And we can build 118 of them. If we have a look, we've got an area that's going to be approximately 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 by 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. 28 by 30, 32, 34, 30, 38. So that area there's 38. So you can do a little bit of maths. You can have about what 100, 135, something like 136. Sorry. So we'll just do 140. Oh, we can only do 118. So that's going to be all of our wood. So we'll let that craft. And as it crafts, it'll stock up in our thing. Now, if you place it on there like that and just rotate, it just does this odd rotation thing. Like I earlier mentioned, if you hold the R button, you can have advanced rotation. It now sets it so it'll rotate over different axes as well as different angles. For us, this is the one we want, or something similar. You can set it down to the below bit if you want, so it's like that, but you're up here. Make sure it is on your top layer like so, because if you put it on that layer there is close enough for the zombies to attack. Now they can potentially hit it if they stack up, but they shouldn't stack up too much. I just went off by mistake. Put it all the way back round again. So now we're going this angle. So you can just go ahead and place yourself some blocks there, like so. Now, if you've got a wall here, you'll then want to put your blocks on the outer section of the wall as well. Now I tend to go 2 layers like so. And then depending on how well you can balance, you can place down another one on the end so it stops you falling off, or you can just leave it open if you want. Totally up to you. As I say, if you're like me and you're a bit clumsy, then I suggest you close it off. Oh no, I'm going the wrong way now. Let's not waste planks. No. These will float. I mean, they talk about physics and then they are floating bars, but they class it as a full block, apparently. No. Get a little bit of wood back. We could probably actually do a couple of frames with that. Wood frame blocks. We can do 2 frames. So you just want to go about and you want to just basically place all these bars on like so. Now what this does is it allows you to shoot through the bars. You can shoot at the zombies that are basically attacking your pillars. That's going to give you plenty of time to get some experience points. Go ahead there. Okay. Right, I'm just going to jump. Have a look. What's the nearest set of trees? It's going to be over here. So we're just going to jump out and grab some more wood because otherwise we're never going to get this done. Now we're probably going to be running back towards the night time, but I can't see any zombies around, so we should be okay. Now these trees here, these actually give you a bit of coal as well because they're charred trees, so that's pretty decent to know. See, they're giving us some. I definitely think it's coal. Yeah, it is coal. So this is the bit that we're going to obviously use to build our horde base. Now I tend to build the horde base towards the latter end of the day just because I've got, the earlier part of the day to gather the resources. Now we are struggling on food yet again, but we've got the 11 eggs that are ready now. So when we get back, we'll eat them eggs and hopefully we'll have enough to keep us going. But I just want to get a bit more wood because I want to go through a couple of things before we move on to the juicy stuff of actually making our little top layer. Which is the reason why we have actually got kind of like a little bit of a platform where we've got the storage chest. Now, I've only placed one storage chest down because this is your Horde base. So this isn't your main base. You use this as your Horde base because if you use it as a base of operations, then you're going to start getting damage from it, from wandering hordes, from screamers and stuff like that. And there really isn't much room in this. Now you can, if you really want to, use it and expand on it, and we can do something like that later down the line if you'd like to see it. Just let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see a Horde-based expansion. What I will say is some of the designs we've got in the works will be really good for that kind of thing. So we've got like a central Horde-based design that we're going to be working on. That Horde base may be one that you could potentially use as your like operational base, so to speak. But I tend to build my Horde base for that purpose, for the Horde Night only. So with that in mind, that's the reason why I've built the base like I have. With that also in mind, vultures now break through ceilings. That's something we've noticed on the Horde Nights. Now, you shouldn't get vultures on your first Horde Night. But there has been a case where they have appeared if you've got too many people in the area. So depending on how many players you have, your game stage level and stuff like that, they can appear. So we're going to go ahead and take what wood we've got because we're also low on stamina because we've got no food. So we're going to head on back now. Keeping an eye out, making sure no zombies are going to follow us. Go. Back to our Horde base. Jump on up, grab the food we had. Now you notice these give us food, health, and max stamina bonus. And they've actually taken the poison off them now, which is good. I hadn't realised they'd done that. So we can go ahead and we can eat as much as we need. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do... I'll do 6 and see how we're looking. We'll let that build up, and while I'm doing that, we'll go into our perk system and have a look. Now, we've got 4 points available now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on areas that we've already done, like these areas here that are going to help us. There was the intellect that we were talking about. Again, that can help us building stuff like the blacksmith, where we can create a blacksmith and able to forge iron and other metal objects. It's pretty decent to have. And we certainly want to be thinking about that. But for the first 7 days, I'm going to avoid it for now. Because I want to show you that you don't need stuff like that. I'm going to concentrate on my health side of stuff. Because we've got things like stuff like this that can help us when we're cold or overheating. But realistically, water, I can live with the water. Really, the one I want to try and get here is this here. If we can, because it heals us as we go. The other thing I want to do is I want to look at things that are going to help us with our food. So we can do some more with the Master Chef. You can also do things like that. The sexual tyrannosaur. We could do the pack mule if we wanted to. Let's see what else we've got that we can look into. Rule 1 cardio. Ain't good. Okay, so I think we're going to go for this here. So what do we need for the next level? So we need fortitude level 3. There we go. That for us really isn't anything that we could, really have much use for, but it does give us strong constitution. And it also gives us the quick heal that one. Now we can survive a little bit better, we'll heal ourselves up a little bit better. And we're on about halfway with our food, so I'm actually going to eat the other 5 boiled eggs, because then we're fully up, ready to go. And we're not going to burn through our food just as quick. As a matter of fact, we might be just... No, we should be good, so I'll eat all of them. So they have changed the food, because originally eggs and stuff like that used to give you poison, so that's a good thing. So that is definitely something that's changed from there. Right, okay, where are we? Let's grab ourselves now. I want to grab myself 20 more frames. Okay, let's drop on down here. That's something I wanted to point out. Now, I'm building a floor that's level, basically, so when I walk around, it's all level. This will all go, so it's nice and level. However, if you're on a multi-level like this, where it drops down, as you can see, I can put the frames in here. Personally, I'd upgrade all of these. And the reason why I do that is because on the other side of there, that there is a ground floor block. If you get a crawler, he's breaking that block. If he breaks that block, he then breaks the block on... Now, he then breaks this block here. You could pretty much smash through all of these, and then they've got access to any of the ones above. And you can't do anything about it. You can't stop them because this is covered up. So they could potentially rip your base from underneath. Again, get into weak points and cause you a bit of problems. So I just tend to upgrade these, so then they'll generally avoid that area because that area is technically harder to get. Now, obviously, what you upgrade to now is pretty much where it's going to stay at for most of its life, because you're not going to rip up the floor to then upgrade these, then put the floor back down to then upgrade that. You're just not going to do that. And I just tend to just do the first layer, just so they don't see it as an opening. I think the way the zombie system works is if they see something really weak, they see it as an opportunity or an opening, and then they'll go for that point. And you're kind of doubling the strength for your floor as well. And we're nice and level there. Now the only thing I need to do is just level this off here, so we need to get ourselves a stone shovel. Stone shovel there. And now I want to start looking at stone arrows as well. This is definitely something we're going to need to do closer towards the time. So we'll not do it just now because obviously the wood that I'm using is pretty useful for building this base. Now, because we're in the desert, we're actually getting sand and dirt. I think it's clay soil they've called it now. Clay soil, yeah. So we're getting sand and clay soil. Clay soil is only good for later on when you get the furnace going, or if you want to make more ground once you got your workbench up. But I tend to keep all the stuff like that because even though you're going to get loads of it, trust me, when we did the highway build and stuff like that, we needed so much stuff that I needed everything. And we ran out of stuff very quickly, so I've learned always to keep stuff. Now, if you're struggling for space, or you just don't want to be boarded down with stuff like this, then by all means throw it all away. But personally, I keep all the stuff like that. I want to pick up the wrong one. Move you over there, like so. I think I'm going to be 1 block short, possibly. 2 blocks short. Let's just go ahead and grab 2 more frames. 1, 2. Now we've got the ground floor at the right level. We could potentially actually look at doing... Let's just get some more. Let's get 50 wood frame blocks. I forgot we're going to do this top layer. So let's head on back up. Like so. And then we can just go ahead and just lay everything down. Now we're probably going to need more than 50, aren't we? Yeah, because it's 50 in the side. So we're talking 30 aside. See where he's going to go. Oh, I did not mean to fall on top of him. Oh, he's actually broken through. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Let's keep him out of the building. There we go. Boom. And he went right through my door. Wow, he did not wait for anybody to open that door for him. You can see the importance of having something like that in place, because had we been on the other side of that, which we were, we'd have died. But we did it, we made it. Alright, so 50, so 30, 60, 90, 120, so we need another 70 wood frame blocks. Let's just see if we can squeeze out 70 more. We can, excellent. We're not going to have much more material to upgrade with, but... Now, one advantage you have being such a low level as we are, no screamers. Another reason why I do not put furnaces or workbenches or anything like cement mixers into my horde base, because you will get screamers. Screamers work off a heat map system. I've covered it in my performance issues video. However, in short, the more activity within a grid, everything's built in grids on the map. You don't see them now, but if you put a debug mode on, you can see the grids. Everything's built in chunks and grids. These grids, if you've got a certain amount of activity in that area, they spawn screamers. Screamers then spawn wandering hordes and they wreck your base. They may seem low level, but if you've got no weapon like we do now, we cannot survive Screamers. We can personally, but our base won't, which means then we've got no horde base, and then we're starting to panic and worry about things. Now, the alternative to that, obviously, is we do have options available to us. Looks like I overestimated on that. That's not a problem. Now, let's just right-click there. We can copy rotation. Go ahead and copy that rotation there to match the rest of the blocks. Go. Excellent. Now the only time you're going to have a problem is this block here. Because it might be a little too high to upgrade like the one underneath it. What I tend to do is just remove the first one, upgrade it, and then place the next one on. Because the corner pieces, they're a little bit harder to get, we can get the other ones from inside, and we're on a level plane on the inside rather than these where we're lower down around this corner here. I won't do the same for the other ones because the other ones should be okay from the outside because we're not quite as low as what that corner is there. But let's just go ahead and get as many of these in place. And you can see it's starting to turn out into something a little bit more recognizable from most videos because, well, this design just works. It works because a lot of people will build bases that just protect you or use traps and stuff like that. I will probably try and get some traps down if we've got time and the resources to do it and we're not worried about food and health. But yeah, I tend to find that stuff like that slows down your leveling, and because you've not got the perks, you can't unlock things a little bit quicker, and it just makes the game a little bit more of a grind. Whereas when you've got an option to kill stuff during the Horde night, not only are you stopping them wrecking half your base, you're also getting the experience points and whatnot. So there's just things like that to bear in mind. And this is the reason why I do this style of base. And you may be wondering, why have I done it on the outside bits? Well, that's just simply because I can step above and I can shoot them down like this. Now, this Horde base will work. I will guarantee it will work for 28 days. Easy. 4 Horde nights, I can get out of this base easy. I've done it. And people I know have built it and they've done it themselves. You know, they've gone off the guides and managed to build a base similar, if not exactly the same, and they've survived because it's just so effective, because you're being able to just thin down the numbers of zombies attacking your base so they're not damaging your base as much. You're getting that nice XP and they've got no way of getting to you, absolutely no way whatsoever, unless you throw yourself off. Now, I did do that on my last guide. It wasn't the end of the world, but it's also the reason why I don't put a bed in my Horde base, because if they do manage to break through it, if there's, you know, for some unknown reason I've miscalculated something, if they break into it, my bed's not there, they don't break my bed, so then I'm ending up like spawning somewhere completely random. You know, I'm basically pretty secured. My base is a little bit far, though, the base we're currently sat at. It is a little bit far to what I would normally do, but it is what it is. Well, it's another glorious day, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just, yeah, I think I'm going to try and get a little bit more wood, because we've got this little section to finish off here. We've still got to upgrade the floor. If you don't get a chance to upgrade the floor, don't worry about it too much. This base, pretty much as it is, will more than likely hold itself, because I know I've got these in here, and I know I've got these in here. Now, these are all extras. These are things for the zombies to beat on, because these bars here will actually sustain themselves, because that block in the middle is not going to go. That whole block there. These will hold themselves. It should be absolutely fine. And there's no way they're going to break through all of that. The zombies can be a little bit harder now with Alpha 19, but they're not hard enough to be able to break down that. And as long as you keep on top of it and upgrade it and repair it, on the next like 7 days, which you got 7 days to repair. You know, oh, I've just stepped on another cacti. The 7 days you've got to repair is more than long enough. You can go out, you can concentrate on getting, you know, whatever you need to keep yourself alive. Repair the base. You don't need to upgrade it again if you don't want to. I would suggest upgrading it for, you know, the third Horde night maybe. but certainly not for the first 2 Horde nights. That base will do absolutely fine. And to be fair, the damage on your first night, if you're playing on your own, and you'll see when Hightower joins me for the Horde night on there, it'll probably hold a little bit longer without any repairs as well. But let's not run the risk if we don't have to. There's a couple of things we will cover during the Horde night that will help, especially help your Horde base standing up a bit longer. But we'll go through that obviously during the Horde night itself, so we can see it in action. So you can see, you know, so I put my money where my mouth is basically. I want to make sure you can see that the base will survive, and I will more than likely hold the day 28 Horde there as well. By that time, the community will be there, so there'll be a potential for a lot more zombies to attack the base. I will try and see if we can sort something out. I may cover day 14, day 21, and day 28 Hordes. If that's something you'd like to see, let me know in the comments section. You know, if there's anything at all you want to see this base manage to do, then let me know. The only thing you won't do, obviously, is as you start getting to the higher levels of the game stage, then you're going to start struggling, because it takes too much of a beating. So that's something you just need to consider later down the line. You can expand that base if you want to. I'll go through a few things, hopefully on day 7. That's in the next day, probably in the next episode or the episode after, that can help you. But I tend to avoid doing it, and now I did do it on the last Horde base I did, and I kind of regretted doing it. But I will go through with it on this one, just so you can kind of see and, you know, understand where we're coming from. Getting ourselves plenty of wood here. We just want to gather as much wood as possible while we can. Obviously, you'll be, if you're using the basic settings, which if you're playing a single player, you will be, because you can't change the amount of day-night hours that they've got. You can always extend the length of it. Then, obviously, these 2 hours here you won't have. You'll still be nighttime, so you can consider coming out if you want to, but I'm just going to use the extra 2 hours that I've got on the day just to grab some more wood, so we can go back and do some more upgrades whilst move on to the next phase, hopefully. But I think that's going to do us for this episode. We've managed to secure the rest of the base. What I'm going to do, I'm going to continue building, grabbing some more wood now for the next couple of hours. I'm going to then fill in that last little gap on the base, upgrade the last bits of the wood, so then you can see what the base is going to look like as a finished piece. And we're on day 6. By the end of day 6, I've got a Horde base that's going to sustain me through the first 4 Hordes. That's as easy as it gets. People have said, you know, I don't agree with this, that and the other about the base, but the fact of the matter is after day 6 I've got a Horde base standing, and I can concentrate on my own personal health and water and ammunition and getting XP, getting my perks and stuff like that. That's, for me, that's the best part of the game. Well, I say best part of surviving, should I say. The best part of the game is the building that I can do on this game. It's amazing. And we've got some brilliant builds coming up in this series. This beginner's guide will end after day 7. We'll continue on with a community side of things, because we're going to have about 10 players straight off the bat joining us and building some amazing builds. We've seen some builds in the past, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the new ones come in. There's been some real good talk with the community about what they're planning on doing, so let's hope we can see that, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well. Not only that, but we have decided to build an admin island sort of theme. Basically, myself and Hightower both run the server, and we're going to basically build an area where it's going to be like showing off the supporters and the Patreons and the community members all on like a bit of a shrine, along with, you know, some big builds that we're going to design. And we're also talking about a walled-in community as well, which is going to be phenomenal. So if that's the kind of stuff you like, then let me know in the comment section if you've got any suggestions, or if you just want to give some feedback on that. But until next time, everybody, take care for now, and I'll see you on this one. Bye bye for now.